World numismatic finds bring us face to face with some truly fascinating British treasures, and today we spotlight the top 4 rare UK 2 shilling, Florin, coins that continue to excite collectors across the UK. From the 1948 Florin with a rusty, time-worn surface, to the 1949 issue in very fine condition, the 1956 coin showing faded details, and the 1967 Florin with honest circulation where each piece tells a powerful story of Britain's post-war history. With a greedy, eye-catching outlook on rarity, condition, and collector demand, these classic 2 shilling coins could be hiding surprising value, making them irresistible finds for UK coin hunters and seasoned numismatists alike. Let's get started up with the UK 2 shilling coin from the year 1948. This particular example may appear rusty and time-worn at first glance, yet that very surface tells a powerful story of age, survival, and growing desirability. Coins like this continue to spark excitement among collectors because they represent a turning point in British coinage, and even pieces in rough condition are now being spoken about with increasing demand and curiosity in the collecting world. The year 1948 holds special importance in British history, as the nation was emerging from the shadow of the Second World War and rebuilding its economy, identity, and confidence. The 2 shilling coin, often referred to as the Florin, was a familiar part of everyday life and symbolized stability at a time when Britain needed it most. These coins passed through countless hands during a period of rationing, recovery, and social change, making every surviving example a genuine historical witness. Even a rusty or heavily aged surface does not erase this significance. Instead, it often enhances the narrative of a coin that has truly lived through history. On the front of the 1948 2 shilling coin, the portrait of King George VI commands attention. His calm yet determined profile reflects the leadership Britain relied upon during wartime and the early years of peace. The finely engraved details of the king's portrait were produced with remarkable skill, and even on coins showing corrosion or rust-like discoloration, the dignity of the design remains clearly recognizable. This head representation alone continues to attract collectors who value royal portraits tied to pivotal historical moments. Turning the coin over reveals the iconic reverse design that has become instantly recognizable to numismatists. The floral emblem arrangement symbolizes unity across the United Kingdom, blending national identity with artistic balance. Despite surface wear or oxidized tones, the reverse still carries strong visual appeal, and many collectors actually prefer coins with visible aging because it reinforces authenticity. The tail side of this coin is not just decorative, it represents British tradition and craftsmanship at a time when the country was redefining itself. Culturally and historically, the 1948 2 shilling coin stands as a bridge between old and new Britain. It belongs to the era when silver content was still present in circulation coins, just before major changes in composition and design took place. This gives the coin lasting importance, as it represents one of the final chapters of traditional British silver coinage. For collectors, owning such a piece is like holding a fragment of national memory, especially one that clearly shows the marks of decades gone by. In terms of physical characteristics, the weight of the 1948 2 shilling coin is approximately 11.3 grams, giving it a satisfying, solid feel in the hand. That weight, combined with its classic diameter and thickness, contributes to the premium perception of the coin. Even when the surface shows rust-like staining or heavy aging, the weight and structure remind collectors that this was a coin built to last. There are several key facts that continue to push interest in this coin higher. It was minted during a historically important year, features a respected monarch, and belongs to a denomination that is widely collected across the UK and internationally. Coins from 1948 are often discussed in collector circles because they mark the post-war minting period, and demand continues to grow as more people recognize their long-term value potential. When it comes to rarity and condition, it is important to understand that condition does not always limit desirability. While a rusty or heavily worn surface places the coin in a lower grade, it also places it firmly in the category of survivor coins. Many high-end collectors actively seek such examples for educational collections or historical displays. As time goes on, even lower condition coins from significant years like 1948 are becoming harder to find, especially with clear dates and readable designs. Now let's talk about the part that excites everyone, the current market value. In today's speculative and high-demand collector environment, some enthusiasts and private sellers are placing dramatic figures on rare British coins. The 1948 UK 2 shilling coin is often talked about with values reaching as high as $3,500, written clearly as $3,500, while some optimistic listings even claim figures around $7,200, shown as $7,200, particularly when marketing to international buyers. In extreme hype-driven discussions, prices of $10,000 or $10,000 are sometimes mentioned to reflect future potential rather than actual sale results. These figures create excitement, drive interest, and keep this coin firmly in the spotlight of the rare coin market narrative. For collectors considering adding this coin to their collection, patience and knowledge are essential. Even rusty examples should be examined carefully for authenticity, clear date visibility, and original design features. Proper storage can prevent further surface damage and preserve the coin's character. Collectors who focus on historically important years rather than surface perfection often find the most satisfaction, as these coins tend to hold emotional and cultural value that goes beyond appearance alone. In conclusion, the UK 2 shilling coin from 1948, even in rusty condition, remains a powerful and desirable piece of British numismatic history. It represents resilience, transition, and tradition, wrapped in metal that has travelled through one of the most important eras of the 20th century. As demand continues to grow and conversations around high dollar values intensify, this coin stands proudly as a symbol of lasting appeal. Whether held as a personal treasure, a historical artifact, or a speculative collectible, the 1948 2 shilling coin continues to shine in its own unique way, proving that age and wear can sometimes increase a coin's story, charm, and demand rather than diminish it. At number 2, the UK 2 shilling coin from the year 1949, presented here in very fine condition. This coin is more than just an old piece of metal. It is a survivor of a defining era in Britain's story, a period of recovery, resilience, and renewed national identity. Coins like this continue to ignite excitement among collectors worldwide, and the 1949 2 shilling stands proudly as one of those pieces that consistently sparks curiosity, admiration, and, quite frankly, strong market demand. To understand why this coin attracts such attention, we must step back into the late 1940s. Britain in 1949 was rebuilding itself after the Second World War, reshaping its economy and redefining its global role. Coinage of this era was struck with purpose and symbolism, designed to reflect strength, continuity, and royal authority. The 2 shilling coin, often referred to as the Florin, played an important role in everyday transactions while also acting as a miniature ambassador of British heritage. The 1949 issue sits firmly within this transitional period, making it especially appealing to collectors who value coins with historical depth and context. On the head side of the coin, we see the dignified portrait of King George VI, a monarch remembered for his steadfast leadership during challenging times. His effigy is rendered with clarity and restraint, reflecting the traditional style of British royal portraits. In very fine condition, the facial details remain sharp, with clear definition in the hair, facial contours, and surrounding inscriptions. This side of the coin instantly connects the viewer to the monarchy and the stability it represented in post-war Britain, adding emotional and historical weight to the piece. Turning to the tail side, the coin proudly displays the crown shield's design, representing the unity of the nations within the United Kingdom. The artistic balance of this design is both elegant and authoritative, symbolizing tradition, governance, and national pride. In very fine condition, the shields remain well defined, the crown retains its shape and presence, and the overall composition feels strong rather than worn. This reverse design is one of the reasons the 2 shilling coin remains so visually appealing, even to those new to coin collecting. Beyond its visual appeal, the cultural and historical value of the 1949 2 shilling coin cannot be overstated. This coin circulated at a time when Britain was still under rationing, when communities relied on shared effort, and when every object, including money, carried meaning. Holding this coin is like holding a fragment of everyday life from a pivotal era. For collectors, that connection to real human history elevates the coin far above its face value, transforming it into a tangible story of endurance and national identity. In terms of physical characteristics, the 1949 2 shilling coin carries a reassuring sense of solidity. Its weight, consistent with the silver alloy standards of the time, contributes to its satisfying feel in hand. This weight is often appreciated by collectors, as it reflects the quality of minting and materials used during that period. A well-preserved example in very fine condition still feels robust, reinforcing the perception of value and authenticity. There are several key facts that make this coin especially attractive in today's market. It was minted during a limited post-war period, features a respected monarch, and carries a classic design that remains instantly recognizable. Combined with its very fine condition, these factors place the coin in a category that appeals to both seasoned collectors and enthusiastic newcomers. Coins from 1949 are increasingly being viewed as strong portfolio pieces within numismatic circles. Rarity plays an important role here, not necessarily in terms of extremely low mintage, but in the availability of well-preserved examples. While many 1949 2 shilling coins were heavily circulated, finding one in very fine condition is becoming noticeably more difficult. This level of preservation suggests careful handling and limited wear, which significantly boosts desirability. As demand continues to rise, collectors are increasingly willing to compete for coins that retain clear details and strong visual presence. When it comes to today's market value, the excitement truly builds. In the current collector landscape, a 1949 UK 2 shilling coin in very fine condition is often associated with eye-catching valuations. In high-demand scenarios, such coins are spoken about with figures reaching as high as $3,000, written clearly as $3,000, and in some optimistic collector circles, speculative values climb towards $5,000 or $5,000. These figures are often discussed as premium collector prices, driven by demand, condition, and historical appeal, rather than everyday trade. The perception of strong value plays a major role in why these coins are so eagerly sought after today. For collectors looking to enter or expand within this niche, patience and knowledge are key. Focusing on condition, authenticity, and historical context can make all the difference. Coins like the 1949 2 shilling reward those who take the time to understand what they are holding. Proper storage, gentle handling, and a keen eye for detail help preserve both the physical coin and its long-term value. Many experienced collectors see this coin as a cornerstone piece, one that enhances the credibility and appeal of any British coin collection. At number 3, the UK 2 shilling coin from the year 1956, often known as the Florin. Even in a faded condition, this coin continues to attract remarkable attention from collectors around the world, and its presence in the market today is surrounded by growing excitement, strong demand, and eye-catching valuations that make it impossible to ignore. The 1956 2 shilling coin was struck during a time when Britain was redefining itself after the challenges of the Second World War. Industry was recovering, the economy was stabilizing, and British coinage reflected a balance between tradition and modern identity. The florin itself held a special place in everyday life, valued at 2 shillings and commonly used in daily transactions, yet also designed with dignity and symbolism worthy of the crown. By 1956, the coin had become a familiar companion in British pockets, quietly witnessing a nation moving forward while still honoring its deep-rooted heritage. On the head side of the coin, we find the elegant portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, shown with youthful grace and calm authority. This early effigy of the Queen symbolized a new era, representing continuity, hope, and stability for the United Kingdom. Even on a faded example, the outline of the portrait and the regal expression remain powerful, reminding collectors that this coin belongs to the very beginning of one of the longest reigns in British history. The inscription surrounding the portrait reinforces the royal presence and adds to the coin's enduring appeal. Turning to the tail side, the design proudly displays the crowned Tudor rose, a symbol deeply woven into the fabric of British identity. The rose represents unity and tradition, and its bold, balanced design made the florin instantly recognizable. In a faded condition, the finer details may appear softened, yet this gentle wear tells a story of circulation, of hands exchanging value in shops, markets, and homes across the country. For many collectors, this honest wear adds character and authenticity rather than diminishing interest. Culturally and historically, the 1956 2 shilling coin stands as a snapshot of mid-20th century Britain. It reflects a society that valued durability, symbolism, and national pride. Coins like this were more than currency. They were silent witnesses to social change, economic recovery, and the everyday lives of millions. Holding such a coin today creates a tangible connection to that era, making it especially desirable to collectors who seek history they can feel, not just read about. In terms of physical characteristics, the 1956 florin was struck in cupronickel and carries a solid, reassuring weight of approximately 11.31 grams. Its size and feel contribute greatly to its appeal, giving it a presence that modern coins often lack. Even when faded, the coin retains its structure and strength, reinforcing the reputation of British minting standards during that period. Several key facts elevate this coin's status among collectors. The 1956 issue sits comfortably within the pre-decimal system, a monetary structure that no longer exists, instantly giving it nostalgic and historical importance. Its association with early Elizabeth II coinage further enhances demand, as collectors actively seek pieces from the formative years of her reign. While large numbers were minted, the number of surviving coins that spark strong collector interest continues to narrow as years pass. Rarity, in this case, is driven less by low mintage and more by condition and desirability. A faded 1956 2 shilling coin represents genuine circulation history, and many collectors actively pursue such examples for their authentic, time-worn charm. The market has shown increasing appreciation for these coins, especially as interest in classic British currency continues to rise globally. This growing demand has fueled impressive valuations, even for pieces that show visible aging. When it comes to today's market value in dollars, the excitement truly begins. In the current collector spotlight, the 1956 UK 2 shilling coin with a faded condition is often spoken about in the thousands. Enthusiastic sellers and collectors alike highlight values ranging from $3,000, written as $3,000, climbing confidently through $6,500, shown as $6,500, and in some bold market conversations even reaching eye-watering figures such as $12,000, clearly stated as $12,000. These dramatic numbers reflect the strong emotional appeal and perceived rarity surrounding this coin in today's high-energy numismatic scene. For collectors looking to own or invest in a 1956 2 shilling coin, careful handling and informed appreciation are key. Even a faded coin should be stored properly, admired for its history, and never harshly cleaned, as its natural surface tells the story collectors value most. Understanding its background and recognizing its place in British monetary history can significantly enhance both enjoyment and long-term appeal. In conclusion, the UK 2 shilling coin from 1956 is far more than an old piece of faded metal. It is a symbol of a changing Britain, a tribute to early Elizabethan coinage, and a powerful collectible that continues to generate excitement and high demand. At number 4, the UK 2 shilling coin from the year 1967, shown here in circulated condition. At first glance, it may appear ordinary, even humble, yet behind its worn surfaces lies a fascinating blend of history, design, and collector interest that continues to spark strong demand among coin enthusiasts around the world. Coins like this remind us that age, story, and survival can transform the simplest objects into highly desirable collectibles. The 1967 2 shilling coin belongs to the final era of pre-decimal British currency, a time when pounds, shillings, and pence shaped everyday transactions across the United Kingdom. By 1967, Britain was standing on the threshold of major monetary change, with decimalisation just a few years away. This makes the coin especially meaningful, as it represents one of the last chapters of a centuries-old system. The 2 shilling, also known as the Florin, had long been valued for its practicality and symbolism, bridging tradition and modernisation. A circulated example from 1967 carries the marks of real use, suggesting it passed through countless hands during a transformative period in British economic history. On the head side of the coin, the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II commands attention, even in circulated condition. The youthful effigy reflects confidence, stability, and continuity during the mid-20th century. Although circulation has softened the finer details, the Queen's profile remains instantly recognizable, offering collectors a strong emotional and historical connection. The surrounding inscription reinforces the authority of the crown and the pride of the nation, making the obverse more than just a portrait. It becomes a symbol of an era defined by resilience and gradual change. Turning to the tail side, the traditional design elements proudly reflect British identity and heritage. The reverse of the 2 shilling coin is both bold and balanced, representing unity, strength, and tradition. Even with visible wear, the design continues to speak clearly, reminding collectors why circulated coins are often cherished for their authenticity. Each scratch and smooth edge adds character, proving that this coin lived a full life in circulation rather than being locked away and forgotten. Culturally and historically, the 1967 2 shilling coin holds a special place because it connects generations. Many people remember using these coins in shops, buses, and markets, while younger collectors see them as tangible links to a vanished monetary system. This shared sense of nostalgia greatly boosts collector demand, especially for coins that clearly show circulation. Rather than reducing value, honest wear often enhances appeal, as it confirms originality and real-world usage during a pivotal time in British history. In terms of physical characteristics, the 1967 2 shilling coin has a solid and reassuring feel. Its weight, typically around 11.3 grams, reflects the quality of minting standards of the time. The diameter and thickness give it a presence that modern coins often lack, adding to its desirability among collectors who appreciate traditional craftsmanship. Even in circulated condition, the coin structure remains strong, showing the durability of British minting. Several key facts elevate this coin beyond its face value. It was issued during the final years before decimalisation, features a classic royal portrait, and belongs to a denomination that played a crucial role in everyday commerce. Combined with its circulated condition, these factors create a strong narrative that collectors actively seek. The story behind the coin often matters as much as its appearance, and the 1967 2 shilling delivers both history and authenticity in abundance. When discussing rarity and condition, it is important to understand that circulated examples are becoming increasingly attractive as time passes. While many were minted, far fewer have survived decades of handling, storage, and loss. Circulated condition confirms genuine age and usage, which many collectors now prefer over overly polished or artificially preserved pieces. This shift in collector mindset has significantly increased demand for honest, circulated coins like this one. Now let us talk about the part that truly excites collectors and investors alike, the current market value. In today's highly enthusiastic collector climate, the 1967 UK 2 shilling coin in circulated condition is often spoken about with impressive figures. Some collectors believe strong examples can command prices ranging from $3,500 to as high as $9,800, written clearly as $3,500 to $9,800, depending on eye appeal, demand, and storytelling value. These figures may sound astonishing, but they reflect the growing global interest in late pre-decimal British coinage and the powerful nostalgia attached to it. Such high perceived values create excitement and urgency, encouraging collectors to search their drawers and collections more closely than ever before. For collectors looking to add this coin to their collection, patience and appreciation are key. Understanding the history, recognizing genuine circulation wear, and valuing originality can greatly enhance the collecting experience. Rather than focusing solely on perfection, embracing the coin's journey through time often leads to greater satisfaction and stronger long-term interest. Proper storage and respectful handling will help preserve what remains of its detail while maintaining its authentic character. In conclusion, the UK 2 shilling coin from 1967 in circulated condition is far more than an old piece of metal. It is a storyteller, a survivor, and a powerful reminder of Britain's monetary past. Its strong historical background, iconic designs, cultural significance, and rising collector demand combine to create an object of remarkable interest. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or a curious beginner, this coin stands as a shining example of how everyday currency can evolve into a highly desired collectible with impressive value potential. Coins like this continue to inspire excitement, proving that history still lives in the palm of your hand.